This Friday, MLB The Show is going to get a little crazy because we have our first lightning card of MLB The Show 24. There's a lot of players off to really hot starts this season, but let me know in the comment section, who do you think deserves the first lightning card of MLB 24? And we're going to talk about that today, how to get ready for the new program and really what to expect because this is unlike any other year previously. Leave a like if you guys do enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, let's get into it. But first, a quick word from Underdog Fantasy. Baseball is officially back, and that means Underdog is in full swing. And they've really stepped up their game this year with more player props than ever. It's as simple as it could be. You just pick a higher or lower on a player's prop, such as Ronald Acuna Jr.'s fantasy points, or you can get a bit freaky with the peppers. These are enhanced multipliers. You see Fernando Tatis hitting a home run would net you a 2.75 multiplier, dramatically increasing your payout. This year for baseball, Underdog is launching rescues. If a player in the starting lineup gets taken out of the game before his third plate appearance, you can be eligible for a rescue, which in today's MLB, where seemingly everybody gets hurt, is very helpful. You guys can use my promo code GOMES and you'll get a $100 deposit match. I've been loving playing Underdog while watching the game so far this season, and you guys make sure to check them out. Thank you to Underdog for sponsoring the channel. So as you see on the calendar right there, coming soon, Season Award Lightning Player on 4/19. Of course, this is a bit different from years past where we had Player of the Month. A whole program set around who the top performer for that month in Major League Baseball was. And we've gotten some insane cards throughout the year. Remember Lightning Byron Buxton in MLB The Show 21, Rafi Devers in 22, Shohei Ohtani in MLB The Show 23. The PUTM programs became one of the hottest drops every single month, every single year of MLB The Show. But of course this year, considering the power creep and the condensed seasons, they had to switch it up a bit, and now we're getting season awards. The same sort of concept, of course, as we've already seen through the first handful of drops. Just this time they come out weekly, and they're not specifically tied to one program. They claim it's to better space out the content so it fits within the power creep, and if that's the case, then I'm all for it. So, you guys have to make sure to get these done. Get the drops done from every week, because come this Friday, you're going to need to complete all of them to get the new Lightning card. And the nice thing, considering the frustrations of them putting out Seasons Awards in packs, you will not have to buy any packs or buy any cards that were in the packs to get the Lightning card. As you see right here, as long as you collect the program top card in every drop week 1 through 4, you will get the Lightning card when it comes out on Friday. And of course, that brings up a pretty big question, considering that they've swapped around the PUTM to now be Seasons Awards. What overall are we going to get for this Lightning card? Of course, we just got 93 overalls within Team Affinity, which are definitely good cards. I would say they're an upgrade for most people's teams, unless you've got like all collections done you haven't seen outside yet. You probably are getting upgrades for these 93s, but of course, ranked seasons. We just saw that Jacob deGrom and Mike Cameron. Those are 97 overalls. My guess, they're probably going to want to make this worth it so you actually play out the few programs that are in the game. I'm going to say 95 on the low end, 97 tops. So when it comes down to who will get the Lightning card, there's a couple things you have to remember. One, it is almost always going to be a batter, which I think makes sense, because if you're going to do all that grinding for, say, a starting pitcher, you're only going to be able to use him 1 out of every 4 ranked games or so. So a batter just kind of makes more sense. And again, there's no shortage of big performers at the dish this year. Some guys have been mashing to kick off the MLB season. And another thing to remember, this season awards have kind of been a bit behind. You see, Jarren Duran got a card in last Friday's drop. Shane Bieber, of course, he's out for the season. He only made 2 starts, so it seems like we're about a week behind. So any magical performances within this past week, I don't think are going to be taken into account. So here's the guys that make the most sense to me. The first of which being Bobby Witt Jr. for the Kansas City Royals. He's been electric. He's having a fantastic start into his now third season in Major League Baseball. He's hitting for high average. He's hit a couple home runs. His defense, again, is improving year after year, and he's a big name. And I think it's a team that definitely needs some love. The Royals, if you look top to bottom, continuously get dicked down with their legend choices. I mean, they pretty much get George Brett. They have this Raul Ibanez this year. They have Alex Gordon. Anthony Volpe makes a lot of sense as well. Again, just like Bobby Witt Jr., they're a shortstop, which is always a premium position, and he has some secondaries as well. Of course, Volpe, big market team, big popular player, which again, definitely is an impact on their decision of who they pick for the Lightning card. They're probably not going to pick somebody you've never heard of, generally speaking. And Volpe, he's hit a couple home runs. He's setting stuff. He's setting numbers Yankee shortstops haven't done since Derek Jeter. He is looking fantastic out there in the Bronx, and he definitely is one of the most deserving players. And finally, Tyler O'Neill, who's kind of in a weird spot because he does have an 89 overall card that didn't come out that long ago. In that fresh start pack, he's got an 89 overall flashback card, who's already pretty damn good. But you can't really say that he does not deserve the Lightning card. I mean, he's been one of the best hitters in baseball. He's hitting tons of home runs, and he's just looking so good right now. Again, a guy that's typically really adored in MLB The Show because he's got good power, good speed, pretty good defense. And if you add on the ability to get him the Byron Buxton captain boost with the insane amount of power he's displayed this year, that would be a fantastic choice as the Lightning card in Seasons Awards 1. Now, I'm sure some people are going to say, what about a guy like Mike Trout? You know, he's obviously doing really well. He's clearly heard the doubters. Trout is back to what we've known him to be. He's healthy, and he's hitting like prime Mike Trout. He's got a 91 overall card, and they came out with an 88 overall Tops Now Mike Trout. I just don't really see them putting out another one. That's not really their forte, especially, you know, this Trout with inside edge is probably up to like a 93-ish overall already. Is it really worth putting out another one for +4? And then a guy like Mookie Betts, who is off to the best start. He definitely deserves the season's Lightning card more than anybody else. But he's already a 91, and they just supercharged him for the second time this season. He's going to be supercharged for 5 days, so they could theoretically put out a Lightning card for Mookie Betts, and he wouldn't be as good as the Live Series supercharge. I do want to talk about some guys that should get supplemental cards or should be in the conversation for sure. Tanner Houck has looked really, really good. He had a great start to his career, dipped off a little bit last season, but he's really looked sharp in his first 2 outings, and he's a pitcher that plays really well on the show with that sinker-cutter combo. Also, his teammate, Cutter Crawford, has probably been, well, the best pitcher in baseball up to this point, which is insane to say. But Cutter, speaking of the pitch, it's kind of a saving grace. He doesn't have a sinker. He doesn't throw that hard, but I think he could be workable, especially if you really juice up his per-9s. Stick with the pitcher theme. Clay Holmes is back. You know that scoreless inning streak that he had, I think it was in 2022? Well, he's yet to give up a run so far this season. He's looked very sharp, and again, he's one of those guys that we know to pitch really well in the game, so fans would go crazy for his card. Feel like we gotta give some love to Cole Ragans. Again, one of the biggest swindles that you've seen within a trade in quite a while. The Royals just tossed a couple $1 million at Aroldis Chapman and somehow spun him into one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he's only 26 years old. In the game, I think you can make him pretty good if you give him outlier or even up to 99, just a tad below outlier, and keep a good differential on that cut fastball. I think he could be really good in the game. Got a guy like Jose Altuve. He doesn't get as much coverage anymore. It doesn't seem like many people talk about how good Altuve's been the past couple of years. he has been one of the best hitters in baseball, playing second base. You know, it's crazy the kind of offensive production he puts up, you know, being shorter than Frodo Baggins. It's wild. But he is off to another hot start, and yeah, that arm strength, you know, that's going to be a little bit tough to play. The speed's not quite where it used to be, but as a pure hitter, he'd be really fun. The Oakland A's, or the Sacramento, or the nameless A's, they've kind of been fun to watch so far this season, and Mason Miller has been a big reason why. He, of course, is relieving this year. He's had some injuries, and they don't want to use him as a starter quite yet, although they want to move him back into that role. But just for the time being, as a relief pitcher, he's been so good. He absolutely deserves outlier. I mean, the guy's throwing 104 miles an hour. He should get even extra outlier. Love him, hate him. The Big Bear bangs. I know there's reasons why he doesn't get cards, but at the same point, why does Aroldis Chapman get cards? Why does Domingo Germán get cards? Why does Johnny Damon get cards? I don't know. I think if you're going to give those guys consideration for content, I don't know. I mean, Marcell Ozuna has probably been the best hitter. Obviously, he's been even hotter this last week or so, but I mean, he's got a great swing. He's always up on inside edge. He's got 6 quirks. If you play BR, you know how good Marcell Ozuna is within the game. He'd be a pure DH. He's not fast. He doesn't even bring a glove to the ballpark. But damn it, when he swings a stick like he does, you don't need one. And finally, Spencer Steer. I mean, the Reds have a lot of really good young talent. They also have a lot of young talent that's hurt right now. And yet, they've maintained pretty competitive, a lot due to Spencer Steer's bat. He is, unfortunately, a former Twins product. Great trade. You know, him, Christian Encarnacion Strand for Tyler Mahle. Good deal, Derek Falvey. Good trade. Working out really well. I'm sure the Twins wouldn't want a guy like Spencer Steer in their lineup right now. Anyway, he's been really good. He's off to a very hot start. And again, talk about being good at the game. He's got great versatility. I mean, he can play outfield. He can play the whole infield. This kind of card that would be really fun to have in the show. But that's going to do it. Again, Friday, we're going to have Seasons Awards Lightning Player, the first drop and the 4th week of Seasons Awards content. I'm really excited. I think this is really a pivotal time in the game because they need to make this right. You know, they've put out half the content in programs, half the content in packs. You know, probably the better cards have been in packs. This is their chance to kind of shut people up by putting a really good card that you can earn for just playing the game that rivals some of the best that you would maybe have to pay for. And you just get it by playing these programs. So let me know again in the comments, who do you guys want to see as the Lightning player? And if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. Thank you for watching.